to the east side with the motorcycle bike boys got them, they proud to fly their flags. And you ain't saying nothing about it. Hello? Walk very softly with a little switch. You need to stick in your hand. It's a hot time in the summertime. Thanks to Miss Priestley on the east side.
You're not allowed to shake his hand. Will all members of the chambers turn off their phones? Priestley, that means you.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I think, yeah, we share that. Oh, you're talking about, because we all.
What you got in the backpack, Miss Priestley?
Hey everyone, I'm Dedrick, here to walk you through what's new at Gusto. First up, Gusto is now available in ChatGPT, so you can connect your account to ask questions about your payroll and team data without digging through reports. Ask things like, show payroll totals for the last 6 pay periods, or is our employee compensation in line with market rates? And get an instant response. If you're eligible, running payroll right from ChatGPT.
These cameras and these sophisticated cameras in Flint. Yeah. You do. All right. attendance. Gotta be. Hello, New York. Testing. This is R.L. Mitchell reporting from Flint City Hall again. As you see, we the peoples of Flint.
The time is now 5:30 p.m. on Monday, June 1st. I hereby call the special city council meeting to order. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Mr. Alamin. Dr. Lewis is not in. Ms. Johnson is not in. Ms. Priestley is not in. Ms. Winfrey Carter is not in. Ms. Burns is not in. Ms. Mashat.
Present.
Mr. Pfeiffer is not in. Mr. Jarrett is not in. You have 2 members present.
We have 2 members present. We will wait to establish quorum.
What up? What up? I'm waiting on the phone call. Let's see. Take a picture. Hey, boo. How you doing? That was good. Good. Them people from communities rights. That's coming up for public hearings. Yeah, because I remember last time we had brought it.
It was adopted.
Okay, don't worry about it. I want this to you person.
It'll be done. I do 2 more.
Okay, that's okay. All right, thank you. Appreciate it.
We now have 5 members present. Madam Clerk, if you will please do roll call so that we can establish the fact that we do have quorum. Hey, darling. Thank you.
It's 5:33 p.m. and I will retake the roll call to establish.
I think Dr. Lewis just stepped out.
Oh, and where's the other?
That's amazing. We'll have quorum either way. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Time is 5:35 p.m. Mr. Alamin? Dr. Lewis?
Present.
Ms. Johnson?
Present.
Ms. Priestley?
Present.
Ms. Winfrey Carter is not in. Ms. Burns is not in. Ms. Mashat?
Present.
Mr. Pfeiffer is not in. Mr. Jarrett is not in. You have 5 members present.
We have 5 members present. It is now time for the Pledge of Allegiance. Councilman Alameen, if you would please.
I don't think you heard you. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
For blessing, is there anyone who wishes to acknowledge a bereaved family or the passing of a loved one? Seeing as how there's no one who wishes to acknowledge anyone, I will ask that we keep our Blight Director, Arnold Brown, in our prayers as in the passing of a family member, and that we would continue to uplift Councilwoman Johnson during her time of bereavement as well. Councilwoman Priestley, if you would.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for this beautiful day and for the opportunity to work for our beautiful city. Lord, be with us and guide us as we make this decisions tonight that affect the entire city and that will help us to go forward into the future. In your name, amen.
It is now time for the reading of the Disorderly Person City Code subsection. Any person that persists in disrupting this meeting will be in violation of Flint City Code Section 31-10, disorderly conduct, assault, and battery on disorderly persons, and will be subject to arrest for a misdemeanor. Any person who prevents the peaceful and orderly conduct of any meeting will be given one warning. If they persist in disrupting the meeting, that individual will be subject to arrest. Violators will be removed from the meetings. It is now time for our public hearing, 260-185.6, which is the public hearing community budget hearing, City of Flint, fiscal year 2026-27 proposed budget and 2027-2028 forecasted budget. What are you doing? Pardon me, Clerk Donahue, for clarification, what's happening?
Madam Chair, pursuant to the Uniform Budgeting and Accounting Act, the administration is providing a brief presentation before the hearing is open.
All right, and do you know how long the presentation is?
That would be up to Mr. Moore.
Mr. Moore, how long is your presentation?
I believe I have 16 slides.
16 slides. So was that about 15 minutes?
Probably, yes.
15?
15, I would think.
All right, thank you. Perfect. If we could please put 15 minutes. Go ahead, Mr. Moore.
Hello. Okay. I'm proud to present the FY 27-28 budget. You'll see, looking at the budget, we've added one column, which we haven't had in prior years, the estimated column. And that was done for two reasons. One, we think it provides the city council with a better estimate, a better financial picture if they can.
Mr. Moore, if you could please speak into your mic.
Sorry. The estimated column provides a better financial picture for the council and the public to see where the city actually stands. And the second reason was that the budget that we adopted last year was actually the FY25 budget, which made for some distortions in the way the budget was presented. Let's see. The first slide I have here is the general fund. And as you can see from the general fund, we're looking at having approximately $73 million worth of revenue. We're forecasting to have $88 million of expenditures. The difference between the revenue and the expenditures has to do with the ARPA dollars. We're planning to spend down the ARPA dollars in FY27. And so that if you look at the ending fund balance, we're forecasting that to be around $38 million. That would be the healthiest that the city of Flint has been in probably a couple decades. And so from a financial perspective, this is a really good news. The next fund I have is the Major Street Fund. We have about $13.6 million of revenue. We're going to spend $19 million. But if you look at the fund balance of this fund, they have a larger fund balance than we actually have revenue. And that should be, what we're trying to do is spend that down. Those dollars were given to us to fix up the streets, and we're trying to use that to fix up the streets. So you're going to see a lot of construction in FY27. We'll be trying to improve both the major and the local streets. If you look at the local street fund, again, it's the same situation where we have $6 million, 6.7 of revenue and 7.7 of expenditures. We're trying to spend that down because we have a large fund balance. We're trying to buy capital because we're more than what we have a larger fund balance than what would be recommended for a city of our size. But again, that we're going to have a lot of capital items, a lot of street projects in the local street next year. The public safety budget has about $6.3 million of revenue, and we're forecasting to spend almost $6.5 million. We have a draw on the general fund fund balance, but again, if you look at it, we have a fund balance of $2.6 million, which is very, very healthy for a fund of this size. We should be trying to use those dollars for the purpose that taxpayers had spent. The neighborhood policing is very similar. We have $2.2 million of revenue. We're trying to spend 2.5. But again, that's because we're trying to spend down the fund balance. We'll have, at the end of the fiscal year, we look at having $2 million worth of fund balance, which is a very large fund balance. We should be spending that down so that we are using the dollars as the taxpayers had voted for. The park budget has about $967,000 of revenue and $1.1 million of expenditures. Again, we're spending that down. We still have a very healthy $509,000 budget, which is, again, very healthy. That's almost more than half of the revenues we'll have in fund balance. So we're very healthy there. The city's, as you can see from all of these, the city's in very healthy financial condition. Street lighting is another one that's very, very healthy. We have $2.8 million, and revenue, we're spending $3.3 million. And we'll have a fund balance at year end of $5.1 million, which again is larger than what the revenue is. We're very, very healthy in that fund balance. Waste collection is probably the most troubling fund we have. We have $6.6 million of revenue, and we'll have $6.9 million of expenditures. That'll bring us down to $315,000. That will be a little on the low side. Next budget season, we will be contracting out for our trash delivery service, and at that point we may have to look at different options of do we want to increase the special assessment, or do we want to look at the mix of services that we offer. The building inspection fund, we're looking at having this is a little bit misstated, overstated. We have $2.4 million of revenue and $3.7 million of expenditures. Part of that's because we're not sure whether we can find another electrical inspector, and so it's a little bit overstated because we don't know if we're going to have a contract for that or have an actual employee. It depends on what we can find. The drug forfeiture, this is always very much a very difficult one to forecast. We're looking at $115,000 revenue right now, and we had an expenditure of $55,000. Although in the process of doing the budget, we talked about how we were spending that down quite a bit, and when that happened, the police reviewed a lot of their revenues, a lot of their sources, and how we can, the dollars that we have secured that could be converted into forfeiture funds, and it looks like that will be a little bit better than what we had forecast. Debt service fund is pretty much in and out. We're just paying some of our long-term debt with that, and it's just designed to pay, it comes in from one fund and we pay it from here. The public improvement is one that we've talked about before, about how we have a millage for that. We have $9.6 million in revenue, of which 4.6 is actually a transfer from other funds, and there'll be 9.3 of expenditures, but they'll still leave us with a healthy fund balance of $1 million. So when you compare the revenues to the expenditures, the transfer in was just a one-time expenditure, or one-time revenue, sorry. The sewer fund, we have $25 million in revenue. The expenditure is overstated because all the capital, and we actually do a lot of our capital expenditures are counted 3 times from the way we budget. But if you look at the cash flows for the fund, both the water and the sewer funds are going to be healthy this year, next year, and probably the years after that. We're not recommending any water or sewer rate increases this year. The water fund has $33 million in revenue. They also are going to have quite a bit of capital, $58 million. They also have debt service, and they have a number of other things which kind of overstates where we're coming. From a cash flow perspective, it's going to be fine. When we clear out the capital, move it to the balance sheet, they'll also be fine. The millages is the question of the taxes. Our general operating, our ad valorem taxes, we're proposing a 7.446 mills. That is the maximum amount of mills that we can levy for ad valorem. We then have millages for public improvement of 2.4819 mils. Public services, we have 1.9856 mils. Public transportation, we have 0.5956 mils. Parks and recreation, we have 0.4963 mils. And then police and fire protection or public safety, we have 5.9568 mils. There was a small Headley rollback this year. If our property taxes increase greater than the rate of inflation, our millage has to be rolled back, and our factor this year was 0.9983, I believe, which is a small rollback. This is the second time in our history that we've had a rollback. That means that property in Flint is increasing from an economic development perspective. If you're a homeowner, it's good news in that your house is worth more. It's bad news that some of the millages have gone up, but Headley caps it, so it's not increasing faster than the rate of inflation. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Moore. She's in the back, so I think that we now move forward, unless, Madam Attorney, there's anything that you need to add.
Through the chair, no, not at this time.
All right, perfect. So then we will move forward with the public part of the public hearing. If there's anyone who wishes to speak to the budget that has been presented, please approach the lectern.
Good evening. I'm Ariel Mitchell. For the record, a moment of silence for Wall Street, Oklahoma. You know, the day is the birth date, the death date of Black Wall Street was destroyed on 1921 at the day of June 21. Anyway, a moment silent. Thank you very much. Anyway, now to about Mr. Moore budget, talking about we the peoples of Flint. And he said, because Mr. Moore got to train these new generations before he retired, hop up and retired. Well, he's doing a good job because he's still here. That's what I say, our L. Mitchell, for the citizen of whoever left in Flint. But the other guy said those who stay will pay, but pay with their lives. But I can't think of the man's name. He going on to glory now. But he just, anyway, Miss Long, what's his name? Del Maroney, yeah. Those who stay will pay with their lives because he told us to actually get out of Flint while you can, darkies, because Oklahoma, it was running that Mr. Moore made that speech on the day that 1921 when Oklahoma was, anyway, you kids at Southwestern, you might as well go down the rabbit hole and see what happened to Oklahoma, because you can't seem to find out what's going on with the embezzlement, with them 218 shots in the hole and nobody doing nothing about it. But last week, we had a fire emergency in here. And I thought it was Mashak kids. We was hungry. I done some investigation on myself. I found out what happened. You got a sensitive thing in the basement. Daryl Buchanan, car went off one time, and it caused a panic in here. And another time, the one dude had a microwave. He left for 15 minutes. He forgot to cut it off. We just got a sensitive situation. So I want to Mashak apologize. The only people who apologized was this Woodson to Mashak. And I feel like I done Miss Mashak because I said that was her kids trying to figure out the way to make Mashak cut the council off. Anyway, stay tuned, America. This is R.L. Mitchell approved this message.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who wishes to speak during the public hearing about the budget?
Good evening. Let's start with street assessment. If I'm not mistaken, this year you all voted to give money for some type of street assessment. There's a resolution that y'all voted on. Why would we give money for street lights? It was for street lights. Why would we give money if we have $2 million extra in street lights? I'm not understanding that. I might be wrong, but I could have sworn I seen a resolution for street lights. Also, waste collection. Why would we keep on paying for waste? I mean, it seems like it's steadily going up every year. I talked to Mr. Moore. Mr. Moore said it's coming and he's working on it. But it's not just this administration, it's previous, not just the previous administration, but a lot of the administrations. When I FOIA'd Republic, they had a list of all the addresses in that FOIA. It cost me like $582 for my FOIA. And they had a list of every address that they were picking up trash. How many of those houses are no longer on that list? How many houses are we paying for that priority waste does not go to? How is it that we keep on going up when way back then we were supposed to have been saving $5 and $10 million, but as soon as priority waste came in, we were raising the assessment? The water. The master fee schedule can be slashed. The master fee schedule, the water service fees and the sewage service fees. Y'all can take them down and give people a break. Y'all can take those down. All y'all got to do is just vote on it. Say, hey, we taking the master fee schedule down at least $2. We're going to take it down $2. Give them a break. I mean, you just heard him say we got money right now. Don't y'all think the people deserve, the residents deserve just a little break just for a little bit? Since we have money sitting over there, we can give them a break on their water bills so that they can catch up, because there's a lot of them that's still behind on their water bills. So all you have to do is just put a motion on the floor. It's the budget. Put a motion on the floor and say, hey, we're taking it from $28 to $25 on water and service fees. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who wishes to speak to the budget during this public hearing?
Sorry, I'm shorter than he is. I'm not exactly sure if this is where I'm supposed to say it, but I've been getting some backlash on closing down the hotel and these people having no...
So we have public comment coming right after this. So as soon as I close out this hearing,
Okay.
they'll start calling names for public comment. And when they call your name, you'll be able to say it.
I just couldn't wait to speak to y'all, that's all.
I understand. Nope. As soon as this hearing is closed out, we'll go straight to public comment. Thank you. I appreciate it.
How y'all doing today? I just got one little simple question to ask. Did any one of y'all make any amendments to this budget? I'm not sure. I just want to know that. Thank you.
Oh, that's it. Is there anyone else who wishes to speak during the public hearing to this budget?
I just pretty much want to speak about anything as far as all of these budgets. Whatever we got to do to get more police out as far as budgets go, we need that. I know that there was granted more money. We need more money. We need more police patrolling areas each and every single day. You know, we hearing gunshots. I heard gunshots this morning. I called the police. I mean, this is happening in every ward. It's going to continue to spread out. If we do not have something put in place, it's going to keep on going and going and going, and it's just getting started. Just getting started. What are we going to do? I mean, I know y'all want safer streets. That's my top priority. Let's make it happen. You know, I'm putting faith in y'all right now. I know it's election season, but I'm putting all the faith in y'all right now because we need to happen before stuff changes. So come together, you know, no arguing, no bickering. Let's make it happen. Vote unanimously. Put more money out there because we got it. We definitely have it. I thank y'all.
Is there anyone else who wishes to speak during this public hearing? Is there anyone else who wishes to speak during this public hearing? Is there anyone else who wishes to speak during this public hearing? Seeing as how there is no one else who wishes to speak during the public hearing, we will now conclude the public hearing for 260185.6, which is the public hearing community budget hearing, City of Flint, fiscal year 2026-2027 proposed budget and 2027-2028 forecasted budget. Moving along to public comment. Members of the public who wish to address the City Council or its committees must register before the meeting begins. A box will be placed at the entrance to the council chambers for collection of registrations. No additional speakers or slips will be accepted after the meeting begins. Members of the public shall have no more than 3 minutes per speaker during public comment, with only one speaking opportunity per speaker. First public speaker, Madam Clerk.
First speaker is R.L. Mitchell.
Hello, I'm R.L. Mitchell. For the record, good evening, boys and girls from Southwestern High School. As you know, there are Too Tall Jones always trying to help you peoples, I call you peoples from Southwestern, out about your violent stuff over there, but you can't. Today is the first day of June. You got 16 more days for school's out, and you peoples ain't done nothing yet. The student body ain't spoke up. You let Too Tall Jones march in the street for you. And when I was at Southwestern, we took them to the bridge and ready to throw down, but one cigarette stopped the man Himmelhawk on Church Street, threw us all out of his church because one dude lit a cigarette up in the church. And I noticed this lady, she didn't smoke until she bought a pack of cigarettes, Newports. He's sitting right here on the front row, and she went back to smoking. You put pressure on we peoples in Flint. Just pour a little cigarette and you forget what people's getting killed in Flint. 218 shots is in the house, and the ombudsman ain't even tried to investigate it. And the mayor called himself jumping on. I mean, he talking that jab stuff and nobody checking him. And we got 9 councilmen on the seat right now. And the dude come up here talking, good thing he ain't retired yet, because if we do, all these unlearned people's gonna run the city without license. But Mr. Moore doing the best he can. He's just a man doing the best he can, so don't blame Mr. Moore. Blame that Ed Teller kind of guy. Always trying to put it on Christian, because Christian know what to do with the money. He ain't no puppet. You give him the money, I'll do the same thing, like the mock peoples. They got so much money, they call the shots. And now you're trying to copycat off of them because with our funding, with the bears trying to get some votes, talking about if you don't vote, I ain't gonna give you your taxes. Trying to do that President Trump stuff. Think we the people's, it's some okie dokie infidels. You know, Boxer ain't no infidel. Talking about Felicia Shields. She represents like Muhammad Ali. He spoke his word. He spoke in what he spoke, and people lived on it. They don't go to Vietnam fighting them light-skinned people. They ain't done nothing to us, fighting in their rice paddies and stumping on their vegetables and stuff. And that's when the Vietnam gonna run us. That's when I first saw the United States Army run, trying to get away when they called themselves, put me over there and left me over there, but nobody want to talk about that and all that junk. At Southwestern, that's where it happened at. You know, you people at Southwestern better stop talking for yourself, what the student body's for. And that Too Tall Jones, he a filibustering around talking that junk. I real Mr. Bruce's mess.
Thank you. Next public speaker, Madam Clerk.
The next speaker is Christina Porter.
Hello, City Council. How are you tonight? I was going to talk about a million different things, but then I got a phone call, and I'm kind of disturbed about this phone call. I thought it kind of went with the budget, but I'll just say it. Do we know that CPS is actually placing families, homeless families, in the travel inn? Single mothers with children age 2 and under are being placed in this hotel. We can't do better than that for these families? I just got a phone call last night from a woman who her and her twin daughters were placed in that hotel by CPS because she didn't have a place to stay. Come on, we can't do better than this? So basically we're taking these single mothers and their daughters and placing them right in the middle of hell. Come on, we can do better than this. In fact, here's my plan, okay? I know a few trailer park owners. I know I have actually gotten a hold of the subsidized housing list. That is either no income or low income housing apartments, which I have sent to a city council member. I have actually also talked to these trailer park owners who have handyman specials that are willing to sell them to the city for $1,000. And the lot rent's only $400. That's 2 weeks rent at the Travel Inn. It's $220 a week to stay at the Travel Inn. So these people could own homes and get out of that situation. I've been getting a lot of backlash about wanting to close that down because where are we going to go? We're going to be homeless. They'll just move to the next hotel. Well, guess what? Then I'll move to the next hotel. I want this city to do better for its children. We should have no way have CPS placing families in that hotel. There are plenty of empty houses. There are plenty of empty trailers. There's subsidized housing. No way should a 2-year-old be living with her mother in a room and then a man busts in and tries to take the 2-year-old child, is what my phone call consisted of. You know, isn't it amazing we didn't hear about this on the news or in the paper or the police blotter? We have to do better than this. Now, we were there Thursday protesting, and while we were there were 8 cops called because we found 5 bodies passed out behind that hotel. And then the police, or chief of police, makes a comment that the police were never there. So I posted the 911 calls. There was 5 sheriffs, 2 Flint police, 2 ambulance, and a fire truck there that day, all before the protest started at 11 a.m. So I'm just here to say that we have to do better for these children. We have to. And if the city can't put them somewhere better than the Travel Inn, let me know and I'll help them out. Thank you.
Thank you. Next public speaker, Madam Clerk.
The next speaker is Rich Jones.
How y'all doing today? First of all, I just want to say it's June 1st. May is over with, and we got a lot of trash that needs to be picked up off of our street. Once again, I would say that we should put together a 30-day plan to where on garbage day, everything on the curbs get picked up. And I would also like to encourage all of these dumpers to get a hold of your neighbors and find out when their garbage day is and just put it on their curb on garbage day. This is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Another thing, we really need to run long on silencing the violence in our city. They still shooting up grandma's houses in our city. I was on Parkway, house been shot up twice, a grandmama house. DuPont Street, house been shot up, grandmama's house. And to all of you young kids out here shooting these guns, you know damn good and well your ops don't own them houses y'all are shooting in. Stop shooting in these houses. Some kind of law gotta be made to where they are scared to shoot in these houses. We got to scare them to death, get a gang task force, and get them off the street. Something got to be done. Something got to be done immediately. We can't wait till another innocent child get killed and everybody jump up and be all in array. We gotta silence this now. We gotta reach out. Everybody gotta reach out to their young ones. And we gotta stop replacing these kids. These gangs are bigger now than when they started eliminating each other. So we're losing as a city to gang members because they are recruiting 9 and 10-year-old kids to grow up in their path. We got to do better as a city. Thank you.
Thank you. Next public speaker, Madam Clerk.
The next speaker is Beverly Biggs Levy.
Hi, my name is Beverly Biggs Levy. I'm running for the 3rd Ward City Council seat. On North and between Philadelphia and Marengo, it was a pipe that busted. They fixed the busted pipes, but they got it where when you drive down, they got a big cone there right now. Been there since December. It's a big hump in the street between Marengo and Philadelphia where where they used to sell plants at. They dug a hole there. It's a big dip. You know, you're going to tear your car up if you ride across there. You guys are going in there tearing the streets up. Make it where it's level, where our cars won't get tore up or tire busted or stuff like that. You went down Stewart Street and Candace, y'all was talking about potholes. You put Band-Aid over them potholes, because that's all it was, a Band-Aid. So the city paid for that. Our tax money paid for that. Then you went back and redid from Saginaw all the way to Andrew. So we paying twice. You put a Band-Aid over it the first time, the second time you paid the whole street. You guys are going over stuff that you paying for one time and then you coming back and paying for it again instead of doing one job at one time. That's our taxpayers' money. And they're not looking at it because they don't care because they're getting paid anyway. We need to do something different. If you're going to put a hole in the street, level it out for our cars won't get tore up or kids won't trip and fall, break their ankle. You know, it could be an adult. It don't have to be a kid crossing Saginaw Street or North Street. It's trash down on, I want to say it's Industrial. It's a big pile of trash down on Industrial, need to be taken care of. On Philadelphia and North, if you come down going west, you're going to, the tree is so big you can't see. Somebody's going to have an accident right there at that corner. They cut the grass a little bit, but it's a tree that you can't see. A lot of this stuff needs to be taken care of. And you guys got the money, fix it.
Thank you. Next public speaker, Madam Clerk.
The final speaker for this meeting is Arthur Woodson.
Let me start by saying a lot of people, I'm not trying to be debatable or say anything different from what everybody else is saying, but we have to hold ourselves accountable too. We keep saying City of Flint needs to do and people need to do. It was a G code back in the day where women, children, and seniors were off limits. We on the streets will hold those people accountable. Nowhere do I see OGs and nobody else, and I'm not speaking bad or ill about them, holding those people accountable. Also, I was out on the streets myself. I never did anything in my own backyard because of the fear of my family being harmed. Parents, relatives, friends, they know what the people are doing that lives inside their homes. Back in the day, my people that I saw, they would accept the money from the people that was out here on the streets hustling because they wanted to splurge, they wanted Gucci, they wanted Fila, they wanted all these name brands. So they accepted the crimes that was going on that the people in their houses were doing to pay their bills. Until you bring that down, and then once they get locked up, you have them feeding commissary to the people being locked up. So their stay in prison or jail is like Camp Haven because they don't have a care in the world. We all who have been once incarcerated know these things, you know. But that's my 2 cents on that. Mr. Moore, I'm so glad they was listening to us about Burton and other municipalities in the surrounding area. Mr. Moore been doing a great job finding out about Burton. He just updated me and gave me some information. He said 58 of them was on the sewer line from 2024 until now. That's some serious money, but how many was on the sewer line from 2017 to 2024? Highland Park got sued by Gleewa, millions of dollars. So that money in our coffer would make a hell of a difference. So I think you all should really look into helping Mr. Moore get that money. Thank you.
Thank you. That was the last public speaker. It is now time for council response. Council members may respond once to all public speakers only after all public speakers have spoken. An individual council member's response shall be limited to 2 minutes. Is there anyone who wishes to speak during council response? Seeing as how there's no one.
She's getting.
Madam Chair.
Thank you, Councilwoman Lewis. You have the floor.
Thank you. So I would like to thank all those that participated in the teen resource fair. We had quite a good number of vendors that came out to support the youth. And so we are looking forward to running that back again on the north side so we can have, make sure that we support even more teens. So please stay tuned for the next teen resource fair. And then next, for, as far as the Silence the Violence March, we want to give a special thanks to those that participated and that hosted it. I know that was Cepeda, Claude High, Miss Carolyn allowed them to use her facility. So it was a great time. And, you know, people, they ask, you know, what can we do? How can we get involved? How can we get engaged? This is how you get engaged. You know, we need to stop waiting for a tragedy to happen to be a spark to move. Let's move before the tragedy. Let's be proactive and not reactive. I know that the weather was a little inclement on that day, but you got to realize this: those that are against violence, we must be as adamant as those that are for violence. I trust that people that shoot at homes, they don't take a day off when it rains. So when it rained and we're having a march, you need to come and march too. The purpose of the march is for like minds to gather and to plan the next move on how we can move to eradicate violence, gun violence in our community. So if you don't show up, then we can't move and work. Let's make this something bigger than just a Facebook like, click, share moment and get out here in the streets and do the work. And next, I would like to thank Mr. Dante Lott for spearheading the Youth Empowerment Summit that took place at was it Brownell? Yeah, at Brownell. It was great. It was so many youth vendors. I left with no money on my Cash App. They had all kind of sweets, all kind of ingenuity coming from our young people. So I want to encourage the residents to support. Thank you.
Is there anyone else who wishes to speak during council response?
Madam Chair.
Councilwoman in the 6th Ward.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone that is here. Christina, keep advocating for your son. Please do that. I think that you also need to speak with the state. We don't put them near here at the city, but I appreciate you bringing us awareness. And people hear you. They hear your messaging. You're a mom. Keep fighting for your son. Rich Jones, I absolutely agree when we talk about the nonviolence. These kids, young people, there were 5 teens between 12 and 15 that were arrested a week ago. They had guns, marijuana, vapes. No one had a driver's license. And they had alcohol driving around, and the parents hadn't picked them up. It was till like 2-something in the morning. Parents need to parent their children. They need to parent their children. I mean, as much as we say we need police, there's a root. We have to get to the root of the problem. This is a parental. Each child is born to 2 parents. That's 10 adults who have 5 juveniles riding around with guns, alcohol, just being lawless. And so we have to hold the parents accountable. Parents know you should know where your children are. And if you don't, then that's a problem. We talk about one thing we know where these kids are. We see them. They go on Instagram and Snapchat. I had 2 parents call me yesterday and say what they do is take pictures of the street signs of the houses, send them on Snapchat and Instagram, send them to the person they intend to, the young person that they're going to shoot up the house, and then drive by. These 2 parents had intervened. This would have been another shooting. This was yesterday. So these kids and these parents have to do their job. Police can't do their job after someone contact them. And so they got to step it up and do their job.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who wishes to speak during council response?
Madam Chair.
Councilwoman in the 3rd Ward, you have the floor.
I'd like to thank everybody for coming. Ms. Biggs, I did hear what you were saying about the streets that needs to be filled and the trash that was out. I will be out this week, well, actually tomorrow. And I also would like to thank everybody who attended and sent cards and called for the bereavement of my mother. Again, thank you all.
Is there anyone else who wishes to speak during council response? Seeing as how there's no one else who wishes to speak during council response, we will move on to the consent agenda. What is the pleasure of the body?
Madam Chair.
Councilwoman in the 4th Ward.
Motion to approve the consent agenda.
There is a motion to approve the consent agenda by the councilwoman in the 4th Ward. Is there support? It is supported by the councilman in the 1st Ward. Are there separations? Seeing as how there are no separations, roll call vote to approve the.
No separations?
I just paused to ask for. Go ahead. You got some?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
We're gonna separate this whole agenda.
Got it. Full separation ordered by Councilwoman in the 5th Ward. Moving on to Resolution 260180, which is the adoption of the 2026-2027 Master Fee Schedule. What is the pleasure of the body?
Madam Chair.
Councilwoman in the 4th Ward.
Motion to approve.
There's a motion to approve Resolution 260180. Is there support? Moved and properly supported by the councilman in the 1st Ward. Is there discussion? Would anyone like the floor in the first round of discussion?
Madam Chair.
Councilwoman in the 2nd Ward.
All right, so through you to whoever answers questions about
Yes.
the master fee schedule.
If we could please have Mr. Moore join us at the lectern. Mr. Moore, is there someone else? Yeah, thank you. You probably just sit there for the night. Is there someone else who should join you for this master fee conversation? Thank you. Hi, Paul. How are you? If you could both please just state your name for the record. We shouldn't be on anyone's time yet. Can we start our time over? Thank you. And before we begin, if you could both state your names and title for the record.
My name is Philip Moore. I'm the Chief Financial Officer for the City of Flint.
Paul Borley. I'm the Deputy Chief Financial Officer for the City of Flint.
Thank you. Dr. Lewis, you have the floor.
All right, so I am looking at the community center piece. It is page 21. And it says community center event rental rates. And it says that it's new for a 4-hour rental block, $450 new. So I remember it was year before last, I believe, when the council agreed that if you're 80 and over, then the rental was free. And so that's no longer on here. And then I also looked at page 28, so I didn't know if 28 was going to capture that. And because it started talking about the Mays Center rental. So is the Mays Center rental different than the community center rental?
I believe the two centers are being proposed for the same rental fee.
Okay, say it again.
Both, the fee will be the same for both buildings.
Okay, so you said so for both. So are we talking about, well, hold on, well, let me just ask you this. Is this a duplication looking at the community center event rental rates and then how you all have the Mays Center rental being totally different on page 28? So is that a duplication or is it a reason that it's separate?
I guess I'm not sure of the answer for that. There's a 4-hour block is $450 under the community center, and for non-members at the Mays Center is $450 as well.
Okay, so did you say that it's both $450? I'm just trying to be clear.
I'm not sure I understand the difference. One is for special event fees. I'm not sure what that means.
Okay, so right here on page 21, it says community center, right?
Yes.
And then it says, so, we have a few community centers. Oh, wait, I see it. I see it right here. 4-hour rental block, event 80 plus year old. It says 100. So you changed it from being free to $100 now.
Correct.
Okay. And then, is it a reason why the Mays Center is listed separate on page 28 and not just under page, 21? Underneath the community centers?
I don't know the definition of a special event, and that's under the special event portion of it.
Okay. All right, well, all right. And so when we talk about the events, the community centers, want to be clear, we're talking about which ones, because it's not named. And I saw that you all named the Mays Center specifically. So shall we name those? Are we talking about Brennan, Haskell's, Mays Center?
For the community center, that would be all of the ones that you've mentioned.
All the ones that I mentioned?
Under the community center section, yes.
Okay, and so how many do we have in the city? Is it like 4?
I believe so.
Okay. So you believe or you know?
I know of 4.
4, okay. So just trying to get clarity, because you singled out the Mays Center, so just want to make sure that as far as the community center rental that we're talking about, with the new adjusted fees, that we're talking about Haskell's, the Mays Center, Brennan Center, and McKinley Center.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Is there any way that the master fee schedule can reflect that?
I'm sure we could come up with a way to do that, yes.
Okay, well, that's my time. Thank you, Mr. Moore.
Is there anyone else in the first round of discussion? Councilman in the 8th Ward, you have the floor.
Mr. Moore, can you tell me let's just pick anything. Can you tell me why permit fees are increasing from 140 to 160? Why are they increasing?
Just to cover the cost of our services. We're trying
how much?
Our inspection services are normally paid for from the fees that they generate, and we're trying to make sure that we cover the cost.
So how much revenue did we do in permit fees, and how much was our expenses last year for permit fees?
I don't have that number.
And I don't expect you to, and I'm just trying to prove a point that I think that a majority of these are just guessing games, and we're just increasing to increase them because we have no idea what our exposure or our liability or our expenses are. We're just literally increasing stuff to increase it. So did you get any or do any analysis to say, hey, we're losing money on this line item or we're making money on this line item? Or is this just from department heads saying we need to increase it?
Most of it's coming directly from the department heads.
So you are the CFO and the financial, I'm going to say, you are the person in charge of the finances. So shouldn't you be looking at whether or not we should be increasing it and not just increase it to increase it because of department head? If the department head has no idea what the financials are, why are we increasing anything? I mean, we're just increasing it to increase it when we don't have any backup to say we're losing money on permits or we're losing money on rentals, we need to increase it. Like, we're just throwing darts at a dartboard and saying increase this, increase that.
We have this year and next year, we're anticipating that we're going to spend more on the inspection services than we're going to yield through the permitting process. And the permitting process is how we pay for the building inspection services.
So what is that planned increase?
I believe it's like $20.
No, I know. What's the overall planned increase? Does $20 cover it? Based on how many permits did we pull, and was that $20 going to cover the increased cost?
I did not run the analysis for that.
Okay. And Mr. Moore, I'm not trying to be, I'm just trying to prove a point that half of these increases, if none of these increases, have no justifiable reason to increase. If you had backup and say, hey, we're losing money on permits, or we're losing money on inspections, or we're losing money on FOIA print fees, but nobody can produce those documents.
If I could make a suggestion,
yeah.
The way to improve that would be to do the master permit or fee schedule probably in December as opposed to June, because that'd be a better time of the year to review that, get the background information that you're looking for. Try and do that in tandem with the budget makes it very, very difficult. We just don't have the staff to.
No, I understand. I understand. But so if we don't have the staff, we're just literally guessing at all of these.
So
why is the background check fee increasing in the police? Who looked at those dollars?
That would have been the police chief.
Yeah, so I don't understand why any department head, do they look at their financials, or do you give them financial reports on where they're losing money?
Their staff accountant, and they together with a staff accountant, they set the fees.
So the chief of police looks and says, I'm losing money on the background fee check?
He'll work with his accountants to set that.
And there's backup documentation that says I'm losing money on the background fees?
I can't answer that.
Yeah. No, I understand. I just think that we are increasing to increase, and we have no idea if we're making money or losing money. And I'm not saying that some of these may be justifiable because we're losing a lot of money of them, but nobody can tell me that we're losing. Some of these fees might need to be increased fourfold because we're losing that much money. But we have no documented evidence that we're losing or making money on any of these.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who wishes to speak in the first round of discussion?
Yes.
Councilman in the
Go ahead.
9th Ward and then Councilwoman in the 5th Ward.
Thank you. Mr. Moore, some similar line of question that my colleague had in the 8th Ward. What do we anticipate as the net revenue for these increases?
For which revenue?
The increases that we have to the master fees. I would assume there would have been some type of projection as to these fees based on our average activity is going to generate X number of dollars in additional revenue. What is that number?
I don't have that. I don't think the number was calculated.
I'm sorry?
I don't believe that number was calculated.
Okay. Okay. With some of these new line items like the new line item that my colleague in the 2nd Ward brought forward, the Mays Center rental, how would that have gotten on this master fee schedule? Who actually petitions to have it added?
That's usually done with the department head plus the accountant that they work with, and they will. There are different ways. Sometimes they'll check around and see what other communities are charging. Sometimes they'll try to estimate what the cost is, and it just depends what the service is. But
which department head would that have fallen under?
that would have been Joyce Wiggins would have for the Mays Center, and she would have worked with Christian Baldwin to try to establish that.
So each director would have been responsible for requesting.
Correct.
And they would. I'm some familiar with Ms. Wiggins' experiences with the centers. I would have thought I'm pretty sure she would have known that or projected that would have fallen under community center event rentals. How do we come to understand why this is singled out in this way?
I don't know the history of that, sir.
Okay. And I'm sitting through this for I think the 2nd or 3rd time. I'm just trying to understand. Under the police department, and it says patrol, and it says prostitution sting fee, city portion only. Who would we have billed that $675 to?
Which page are you on?
I'm sorry, on page 13. I'm sorry, on page 13, where there's a fee for the prostitution sting fee. Who would we bill $675 to in that instance? I mean, would that be a resident saying, hey, prostitution is high on this block. We need somebody to come and take a look at it. Would we charge the resident, or who would we be charging?
We're charging the people that we pick up during the raid or the sting.
Oh, so this is each, John and or whomever that we catch in the sting. That's their penalty for being caught.
I don't know how you'd have to talk to the police department as to how that works. Maybe maybe a police officer that knows that.
Could we get someone who may be able to speak to that, Chief, Deputy Chief, Police Department? if we could, yes, Madam Chair.
Deputy Chief, would you please join us at the lectern?
Asking about the
Thank you.
prostitution state.
Through you, Madam Chair, to the Deputy Chief. On page 13 of the schedule, it shows a line item, prostitution sting fee, city portion only, $675. And I was trying to understand who we would assess that fee to, who we would bill for that.
Well, we haven't done a prostitution sting since I've been in the city of Flint.
Thank you. Councilwoman in the 5th Ward, I also need you to turn your mic on. But Councilwoman in the 5th Ward, go ahead, you have the
Madam
floor.
Chair,
Madam.
Can he respond?
She's,
Point of order. He didn't have his microphone on. Can he respond to him since the microphone's on?
Councilwoman in the 5th Ward is gonna let him do it.
Right, I'm gonna let you continue.
Go ahead.
He's got to start over, because couldn't hear him.
Just go ahead.
So, since I've been at the City of Flint Police Department, we haven't done a prostitution sting. So I'm not sure where that would go. I would guess it would go to the person being arrested.
Thank you. So, Madam Chair, through you to Mr. Moore. Mr. Moore, I have a couple of questions about this master fee. So, I understand. My first question is this. What public engagement occurred before these fees were increased? So, understand that you said to Councilman Pfeiffer that you don't know these fees just increase? I mean, just arbitrarily increase? Did we do an analysis?
The departments look at the time that they spend working on the different projects or the different items, and from there they estimate what the fee would be, what the cost would be for us to provide it, but that's based on what the departments determine. As I mentioned to Mr. Pfeiffer, if you want to have more detailed analysis, you would have to request this at a different time of year. You'd have to do that in December as opposed to this time of year.
So we just, because we have a lot of increases on this master fee schedule, and we just increased fees without really knowing. So again, I'm going to ask this question again. How much additional revenue is projected from the updated fee schedule? Do you know?
I don't think that's been calculated.
Pardon me?
That has not been calculated.
So, so we have this proposed master fee schedule with these increases, and you haven't done a projection of how much?
No.
Or what impact it will have on the budget?
No, we haven't done that, no.
Okay. So so why are residents continuing to absorb fee increases while the city still struggles with service and service delivery? Why are we increasing these fees?
Why are we not increasing the fees?
No, I said, why are we increasing the fees?
The departments look at the different items and what the time that they're spending on it, and they estimate what the cost would be, and then they adjust the fee accordingly.
Well, it sounds like we have no justification for increasing these fees because we don't even know why the fees are being increased, who increased the fees, and for what. I yield my time. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Is there anyone else in the first round of discussion?
Madam Chair.
Councilwoman Burns.
Thank you. And I appreciate my colleagues asking good questions. So building and inspections, Mr. Moore, you said department, is it the department heads?
That'd be correct.
So would we say Mike Ryder suggested and building permit, the fees that we make all of these increases?
Yes.
And on what basis do we know? Because literally there are pages. So that's going to be mechanical, plumbing, electrical, that's going to be permitting. And what is the process I know I'm struggling with, that he says, okay, we're going to raise these fees, but why are we raising these fees? Does he give a reason? What's
the basis for that would be, in the building inspections, we've been spending more than we've been receiving in permit fees. And one of the other issues that we have with the building inspections is we have a hard time paying market rate for inspectors. And so we end up hiring consulting firms to help us, which often are expensive. The fund has been losing some dollars over the last couple of years.
So every fund, almost every department, no, it is every department that the fees are being raised, it looks like. So it is really, and I agree with my colleagues who have asked some very pertinent questions. If we're raising them, and some of them are not just small fees, what was the basis of raising them and the consensus? So once all of these are put together and said, hey, this is the master fee schedule, who does it go to? It goes to you to approve it?
It comes to me, yes. There's some fees that didn't make it on the list. A good number of the fees did make it to the list. But if you're looking for a detailed analysis, that did not occur.
Yeah, I don't, yeah. And I'm concerned with that because people will call, and people in other cities, our process is much difficult getting things done here, and then we're raising the fees. I don't even think you can take in building and permit department. Do we take credit cards yet?
Yes, we take both.
We take credit cards in building and permit?
Yes.
Because it used to just be checks and cash.
Correct.
When did we start taking credit cards?
I want to say it's like 2 years ago when we started doing that. We changed it.
Okay.
And we're trying to, and we actually take more than just, we take like Google Pay and Apple Pay now.
So they can pay at the counter?
Yes.
Can any of these services be paid online?
Many of them can. I'm not sure that I want to say that all of them can, but most of them can be paid online, yes.
So it is set up now to be paid online?
Yeah.
Do you know when we start the online payment?
I have no idea for that. That predates me.
I think I got someone right behind. Do we take them? I'm sorry. Do we take? Yeah, Angela? Yeah. Angela, do we take these online? And
that I would know. I just help the police department with their master fees.
Okay. Oh, so that's why you came down. Okay. So, Mr. Moore, what percentage is being paid online? And how much have we received in payments online?
I've never looked at that. I don't know.
You never looked at it? Okay. Because I know we didn't have it before. I would like to know that. And just haphazardly raising fees because we can is really not a good idea without, and as we're looking at literally every page, it's got a fee raise. Wow. Every single page. I know there's also a fee raise for looking at with the ambulance services. There were fee raises also on that. And one was to lift people. Looks like that one was increased also. And I think we were about 50-50 with ambulance service fees with that. But it looks like that one, that's my time.
Thank you. Is there anyone else in the first round of discussion?
Madam Chair.
Councilwoman in the 4th Ward.
Mr. Moore, isn't it true that the costs have increased for some of these inspectors because, number one, we are having to pay our salary and wages and mileage more,
Absolutely, yes.
and that we have to contract out many of our,
Yep.
so that costs us more money because we're having to contract them out.
Some items like the electrical inspector, mechanical, we often contract that out, and we have to pay outside services for that.
Okay, thank you very much.
Are you yielding?
I'm yielding.
Is there anyone else in the first round of discussion? Seeing as how there's no one else in the first round of discussion, we will move to the second round of discussion. Is there anyone who would like to form the second round of discussion?
Madam Chair.
Councilman in the 9th Ward.
Thank you. Through you to who can speak to the water and sewer billing? Who can speak to that in detail?
Is that through me?
Yeah, I said through you.
Okay, I didn't hear the through me part. Is Amanda here?
Someone.
Thank you so much, Deputy Chief. Thank you.
Through you, Madam Chair, to Ms. Amanda. Good evening. Thank you. Can you help me understand, with both water and sewer, the size of the pipe providing service changes the base rate? Why is that? Because
it's based on the volume of water that's available. You'll find that that's extremely common throughout the state of Michigan. Most cities charge that way.
But why?
Because
that's my question.
Because you can get a larger volume of water that costs more to provide the service for that.
But you don't use more water because of it, do you?
You don't.
You only get billed for what you use. So why would we charge because you have access?
Part of that is to provide more water pressure for people. And that's very important for the people that have the larger water main or meter size.
Because for a normal house, you would have a 5/8" meter, because you only need a certain flow. Like for like a house like mine, it's a 1,500 square foot house. But a house that's larger needs a larger line, so that way you can get the water. Because if you only have one bathroom, you need a smaller line. If you have a larger house that has 2 or 3 bathrooms and you're using them all at once, you're going to need that pressure to get through all there.
I ask in part because of experience in my family. Within 4 houses, my home and my parents' home, which is 4 houses away, I have the 5/8. They, for reason or another, have the 1 inch. But they have every month $80 more just to be available, and I still don't have. I appreciate what you're giving me by way of answer. I don't understand that by way of reasoning as to why 30 years later they're still paying more just to have access to water. And that's just one that doesn't make sense to me, and it probably won't get
And
to that.
just so you know, too, you can have someone from the water, appointment made from the Water Service Center, and they can go out to the house to verify if they can reduce the line, because all the houses near the Woodsley Apartments, all those new builds were 1 inch, and they didn't need to be. A lot of them have converted to the 5/8 inch just to reduce their bill.
Thank you. Is there anyone else in the second round of discussion? Councilman in the 8th Ward.
Mr. Moore, I'm wondering, the 2 or the questions in the 3 minutes I've got, I'm just going to be about trash and street lighting. The street lighting, we allocated monies to go all LED to reduce our costs, correct?
Correct.
So, and we have a healthy fund balance on that, correct?
Yes.
So why aren't we, in the trash collection, or the rubbish collection, whatever we're calling it, is completely opposite. That's going bankrupt. Do you agree? That's going, and yeah, I have to imagine it's going to be negative deficit in 2 years, correct?
Yes.
So why aren't we reducing it more on the street lighting and like we're doing, we're reducing street lighting by $8, but we're raising trash by $8. So
That's correct.
why aren't we doing that more since we have such a healthy fund balance in street lighting?
That could be done. There's, the reason the $8 is it'll make the trash fund solvent next year, but in 2028 we'll have to probably revisit that. We can either do that again, or we can.
So why don't we address it now instead of waiting? I'm just, because we have such a healthy fund balance, it seems to me like instead of potentially going down the rabbit hole of increasing tax on rubbish, when we can convert that monies and they not have to spend any more money on street lighting.
That's a perfectly valid.
So how did we come up with the $8? Is that just to make?
The $8 was calculated to make sure that the fund has sufficient money in fiscal year 27.
Okay, because I know we did the same thing last year.
That's correct.
What was the dollar amount that we converted last year? You remember?
$10.
$10. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Are you yielding?
No, I still. I'm just. Mr. Moore, what would be a suggested amount so that we could potentially?
The amount that we put in the budget and we're recommending is the $8 per year. But if the city council wanted to adjust that.
What does a $16?
There's a good chance that would take care of it through FY28. So,
still after 28, we're going to have an issue.
Well, 28, I suspect will be okay, but I don't know what I have to run.
What does the trash rubbish need to be at to equalize the contract for the trash rubbish?
Thank you.
We need to raise it by $8 for
Chair.
27.
Thank you. Is there anyone else in the second
Madam
round?
Chair.
Councilwoman in the fourth ward.
So, Mr. Moore, when I read the staff review on the streetlight and the garbage, because you and I had this discussion about moving monies around, because as I've told you, the garbage fund or the solid waste, whatever you want to call it, is a concern of mine. And we talked about more than the $8 that is going on now. And I thought when I read it that it was like state law that was what it should be. As I am incorrect on that?
I don't think state law will affect that because we are, you give us some flexibility with that. We will have still have a adequate cash balance with $8, but if you were to raise it to $16, that would be fine.
Because I had talked about 25. Would that be too much? Thinking about how the streetlights being converted to LEDs, and I was thinking that we had changed it more last year than the 10, which is why I said 25.
Request for information.
Mr. Pfeiffer, what is your request?
Do you know what the actual cost of the contract is and how much we get on that mill or whatever we wanted, that service charge, to see what that dollar value is to equal out? So it's not, we're not guessing at 25 and it may be $17 and we break even. I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't have that information. Thank you. But that was something that Mr. Moore and I had just talked about during our budget planning time, that we had. But I do think that $8 is not enough. I think that we do need to change it to be a higher amount. And if you feel that it should be $15,
I would be comfortable with $16.
I make a motion to change the street lighting fee to whatever it was in the resolution, less $16, and add that $16 to the garbage fee.
We have that assessment coming up next, Madam Clerk.
We still have to do it on the fee schedule too.
That's correct.
So, I'm sorry,
'Cause
for
it's on the master fee
clarification, the master fee doesn't match what's on the resolutions? Or are you amending the master fee to then amend the resolutions?
So the master fee would, in my motion, would go to the resolution. then.
It'll match what's on the resolutions that are on the agenda today.
I'll wait to make that motion. I'll withdraw that motion until later.
I
But will
figured
make
you
that
would.
motion.
Go
Yeah.
ahead and continue your time.
So that was what I was wondering, because I want to make sure that we don't pay more, we don't increase those dollars onto our residents.
Right.
And this actually will help maybe for next year in your planning
Yes.
as to what the garbage contract should, or fee should be on next year's taxes.
I'd be comfortable with that.
All right, so I will make that motion at a later time. Thank you. I yield.
Thank you. Is there anyone else in the second round of discussion?
Madam Chair.
Councilwoman in the second ward.
All right, so through you to the two. So thank you for clearing up the community centers that are available. And then my other question is dealing with, I see that we have fees for teen dances and skating rinks. So is this for a teen dance, this is on page 14. And so under Dan's Public Teen. So is this for a building that's specifically used for that? Or does this cover like a pop-up? Like say I'm having a dance at the Maid Center. So now I have to pay this additional fee because it's a teen dance. So how
I'll
did that
defer
go?
to Davina for that. That's a city clerk's charge.
Okay, thank you. Through you, Madam Chair, to Madam Clerk.
So these license fees are mirrored what's in the code of ordinances. And a lot of them are outdated, obviously, because the city no longer really has teen dances per se. We have not had a request for a teen dance license. So this is a part of the hope that we will be updating the licenses in the code so that the master fee can then reflect the licenses that are actually being issued.
Okay, so does that mean that if I have a dance at a park, does this apply to me? I didn't understand. So is this for pop-ups or is this just for if you own the building and then this is where you want to consistently host the event?
This would have been in the past pertaining to a building that would have held dances, not just, I'm having a party and I'm going to call it a teen dance and I need a license. This was for facilities that used to have these particular events.
Okay, I couldn't hear. I can't hardly hear. It sound muffled. Could you please repeat that?
So this would have been for facilities in the past that would hold these types of events.
Okay.
So an individual couldn't just say, I'm having a teen dance and I need a license for that teen dance. This would have been for facilities that used to have these events.
Madam Chair, can I please get my minute back? I couldn't hear.
Madam Clerk, we're not going to give you a minute back. Madam Clerk, just repeat what you said into the mic, please. RL, stop.
And Madam Clerk,
it's already hard enough to hear.
And Madam Clerk, if you could also expound if that covers the skating rink as well.
So this would have been for facilities that used to just hold these types of events.
Okay.
Skating rinks, I don't believe there are any skating rinks still in the city of Flint proper. I believe they're outside of the city limits. Skating rink is a little different, but we have not had requests for teen dance licenses. And this is a part of those outdated licenses that we're trying to update the code so that it reflects the licenses that are actually being issued at this time. So a lot of these licenses will be removed from the code and then removed from the master fee schedule. But these licenses reflect what is still in the code of ordinances.
Is there anyone else in the second round of discussion? Seeing as how there's no one else in the second round of discussion, this is the roll call vote for the adoption of the 2026-2027 master fee schedule, resolution 260180. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Mr. Alamin? Dr. Lewis?
Yes.
Ms. Johnson?
Yes.
Ms. Priestley?
Yes.
Ms. Winfrey Carter?
No.
Ms. Burns?
No.
Ms. Mashat?
Yes.
Mr. Pfeiffer?
No.
Mr. Jarrett?
No.
The vote is 5 yes, 4 no.
The vote is 5 yes, 4 no. That resolution has been approved. Moving on to Resolution 260181, which is the assessment for street lighting costs fiscal year 2027. What is the pleasure of the body?
Madam Chair,
Councilwoman in the 4th Ward.
motion to approve.
There's a motion to approve. Is there support? It's been properly supported by the councilman in the 1st Ward. Is there discussion?
Madam Chair,
Councilwoman in the 4th Ward.
based on our previous discussion, I would like to add $16 to the street lighting cost, or subtract $16 from the street lighting cost, which would make this assessment at $40.18.
Point of order.
Excuse me, $15.
Point of order.
Hold on, can you please hold?
Request for information.
What's your request?
This already has the $8, so we just need to add the additional $8. It was 64. So we'll take
Point
it to
taken.
40,
Okay,
48.
thank you. 48.18. I would like to change this to 48.18.
Can you repeat your motion again
I'd like
and
to
say
make
what
a-
this is and
Yes,
why you're
I'd like
doing
to
it?
make a motion to assess street lighting costs to $48.18 for fiscal year 2027.
So your motion is to change the assessment from the $56.18 to the $48.18.
Correct.
Is there support for this motion?
Support.
Supported by the councilman in the 8th Ward. Roll call, Madam Clerk, for the point, changing this to a .1.
Dr. Lewis?
Yes.
Ms. Johnson? Ms. Johnson?
Yes.
Ms. Priestley?
Yes.
Ms. Winfrey Carter?
Yes.
Ms. Burns?
Yes.
Ms. Mashat?
Yes.
Mr. Pfeiffer?
Yes.
Mr. Jarrett?
Yes.
Mr. Alamin? The vote is 9 yes, 0 no.
The vote is 9 yes, 0 no. Resolution 26, that motion passed, and we have changed it to a .1 with the tax bill for becoming $48.18. On to 260181.1, assessment street lighting costs, fiscal year 27. What is the pleasure of the body?
Motion to approve.
There's a motion to approve and supported by Councilman in the 4th, a motion to approve by the Councilwoman in the 4th Ward, supported by the Councilman in the 1st Ward. Is there discussion?
Madam Chair.
Councilman in the 8th Ward.
Mr. Moore, I would request that we do an analysis to see what these actually, because right now we're guessing.
Right.
I would like to analysis on what they should be so that we can hopefully upright both of these accounts next budget season. I think maybe more so the rubbish, because I think that's in harm's way more than this one. So, and then, did we ever? I know that we approved the street lighting LED thing for consumers. When are we going to get reports back, or when are we going to get? They going to get started? When are we going to know what our financial liability is going to be going forward with these LED conversions? Because I think that when they promised it, it was like in the millions per year in savings. So when are we? Were we sold a bill of goods, or were we not going to get this started? What's happening?
I believe they've already started. I don't know what the timetable is for the installation, but I think there's somebody on staff that has that. I'll see if I can get you a copy of the schedule.
Okay, and then can you? Is there any way that we can find out when they're going to be done, and then when our what our financial liability is going to be once they fully upgrade everything?
Yes, that we should be able to get that number. We should have.
Okay, just so that maybe if we next year we need to tweak this even more, we should know that before going into budget day.
Yep.
Thank you, sir.
Is there anyone else in the first round of discussion? Is there anyone in the second round of discussion? Seeing as how there's no one in the second round of discussion, we will move forward with the roll call vote for 260-181.1, which is the assessment street lighting cost fiscal year 2027.
Ms. Johnson?
Yes.
Ms. Priestley?
Yes.
Ms. Winfrey Carter?
Yes.
Ms. Burns?
Yes.
Ms. Mashat?
Yes.
Mr. Pfeiffer?
Yes.
Mr. Jarrett?
Yes.
Mr. Alamin? Dr. Lewis?
Yes.
The vote is 9 yes, 0 no.
The vote is 9 yes, 0 no. That resolution has passed. Moving on to 260-182, user fee, municipal solid waste costs, fiscal year 2027. What is the pleasure of the body?
Madam Chair,
Councilwoman in the 4th Ward.
I make a motion to increase the user fee for municipal
order.
solid waste.
Point of order. It's not a valid motion. It has to be a.
That's not a valid motion.
I'm sorry. I thought in my mind, I had made the motion to send to council.
Motion to approve.
Are you making a motion to
Yeah,
approve?
motion to approve, yes.
There's a motion to approve Resolution 260-182. Is there support? Supported by the councilman in the 1st Ward. Is there discussion?
Madam Chair.
Councilwoman in the 4th Ward.
I make a motion to increase the fee from $218.56 to $226.56 for fiscal year 2027.
Repeat your motion.
I make a motion to add $8 to the fee. That's in that resolution. That would make it $226.56 for municipal solid waste collection for fiscal year 2027.
Support.
The motion has been made to add $8 to the $218.56, making it $226.56 by Councilwoman Priestley in the 4th Ward and supported by Councilman Pfeiffer in the 8th Ward. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Ms. Priestley?
Yes.
Ms. Winfrey Carter?
No.
Ms. Burns?
No.
Ms. Mashat?
Yes.
Mr. Pfeiffer?
Yes.
Mr. Jarrett?
Yes.
Mr. Alamin? Dr. Lewis?
Yes.
Ms. Johnson?
Yes.
The vote is 7 yes, 2 no.
The vote is 7 yes, 2 no. Moving on to that has been approved to 260-182.1. Moving on to 260-1, it was approved to 260-182.1. Moving on to 260-182.1. What is the pleasure of the body?
Madam Chair, motion to approve.
There's a motion to approve. Is there support? Moved and properly supported by the councilman in the 1st Ward. Roll call. Not roll call, I'm sorry. Is there discussion? in the first round? Is there discussion in the second round? Seems how there's no discussion in the second round. This is roll call vote for 260182.1. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Ms. Winfrey Carter?
No.
Ms. Burns?
No.
Ms. Mashat?
Yes.
Mr. Pfeiffer?
Yes.
Mr. Jarrett?
Yes.
Mr. Alamin? Dr. Lewis?
Yes.
Ms. Johnson?
Yes.
Ms. Priestley?
Yes.
Vote is 7 yes, 2 no.
The vote is 7 yes, 2 no. This has been approved. Moving on to Resolution 260183, 2026, Operating Millage, City of Flint Downtown Development Authority. What is the pleasure of the body?
Madam Chair,
Councilwoman Priestley.
motion to approve.
There's a motion to approve. Is there support? Moved and properly supported by the councilman in the first ward. Is there discussion?
Madam Chair.
Councilman in the 8th ward.
Yeah, I won't be supporting this because I have no idea what the hell I'm voting on. Meaning, we have zero documentation from the DDA.
Yeah.
I have no idea if this is a deficit, how they're spending. If we are approving mills, then we should be able to, and I believe that's a law in their bylaws, we should be getting their budget, which we are not. So at this point, I'm not going to rubber stamp because we have no idea how they're spending their money, what they're spending their money on, how much money they actually need. If this is going to put them in a financial deficit where the city's got to bail them out again, just there's too many unknowns. So I will not be supporting this tonight. And that's all I got to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else in the first round of discussion?
Madam Chair.
Councilwoman in the 6th ward.
Thank you. Through you to Attorney Gurley. Attorney Gurley, I believe, was it 2 or 3 years ago, you stated that their budget they have to give to us. Is that correct?
Through the chair, through the bylaws that they had posted on their website, stated that it should be submitted to the municipality. Those bylaws are no longer on their website. They are operating under, I believe, the 1977 version of their rules of procedures.
So they're operating now under the 1977 rules of procedure, and what would that mean? But does that mean they don't have to give us their budget?
Correct.
Okay, because we got one paper. And the back side is not even there. That's 184. So this is all we got for 183. Do we know how much revenue that they got in parking meters? Because they have new parking meters. Do you match it to Mr. Moore or whoever can answer?
I have seen that number, but it's been a long time since I've looked at it.
You don't have it?
I don't have it.
We know they told cars at Potato Spuds and anything in that alley. Do we know what's the revenue from that?
I haven't seen their
You haven't
proposed
seen
budget.
it? So we are just basically, through you, Madam Chair, to Attorney Girl again. So what does the 1977, what does that, I haven't seen that one. Can you tell us what that is, that their bylaws prior, they no longer apply, so they reverts back to 1977. What are the 1977 rules, bylaws?
It is their rules of procedure, and that is what was adopted. I'm going to clarify the year, but that is what is listed on their website. So,
do we know what those are?
Yes, it basically lays out the appointments, the terms, all of those things. But in those bylaws, it does not state that their budget has to be submitted to the governing body of the municipality.
Okay, so we don't need to know anything that they're doing. Is that everything?
I can only go by what their bylaws state.
But they have no bylaws now, right?
Their rules of procedure. So
I'm
that-
sorry, could you
I'm sorry, it is just their rules of procedure that they're operating by. And under state law, they can operate under bylaws or rules and procedures that are adopted by that authority.
Okay, so this is before us, literally a one-page, 1, 2, 3, I'm not even calling them paragraphs. It's an opening, a close, and 3 sentences or paragraphs for the body. And so they want to be, this is to adopt the operating millage of 1.8806 mills for the City of Flint's Downtown Development Authority District to be levied on a taxable valuation for all real and personal property, and we don't know what they're going to do with this money. No budget, we haven't seen their budget, we're not entitled to it. We're just to vote on it, and nobody knows. What about our planning, and is anyone from planning and development, or does anybody know other than who's working with the DDA, with the city? Is there anyone working with the DDA from the city? Councilman Jarrett is smiling. Do you have something you can share? No?
Is there anyone
from the city?
I don't believe that there's anyone present that can.
Okay, so we have, do you two, was that my time? Because the clock's going,
Yeah, that your time is running down.
Do you two, Mr. Edwards, do we have anyone who's working with the DDA that knows what the DDA is doing? So from back there in the corner against the wall, you're shaking your head. No, we don't have anyone working with the DDA, and so we don't know what their budget, what their plans, what their goals are, but vote yes. And good evening, Mr. Edwards.
Good evening. No, there's no assigned aspect of city departments except for finance. They are to give their reporting. They're to give their
Any reporting
audits.
been turned in?
At this point,
No.
I don't believe that they have turned anything in, and there is no onus on us in terms of ways of putting pressure on them to turn it in.
Okay, thank you. Is there anyone else in the first round of discussion? Anyone in the second round of discussion?
Madam Chair.
Councilman Pfeiffer.
Through you to the city attorney. City attorney, by law, I believe that they are supposed to publish their annual budget under Section 910 of PA 57. So on their website, they're supposed to do that. Have they been doing that? And if not, what are the repercussions? Do we have to vote for you to prosecute them? Because I know for a fact it's not on there.
Let me just look at that for a second.
Okay. And there's a reason that they're not transparent. Let's all be frank about it. There's a reason that they're not transparent, because they don't want to answer the questions on what they're doing with the money, how they're spending the money. They don't want another credit card incident. So that's the reason that they don't want to give us any documents, and that's why they reverted back to their bylaws in 1977, so they didn't have to be transparent. But there is state law that says that they are a municipal arm
authority,
that they should be publishing their documents the same way that we do, yet they are not. So, Madam Attorney, what are the repercussions, and how can we make them abide by the state law? If they're going to change their bylaws to circumnavigate our questions, how do we make them abide by the state law?
I mean, there would have to be some complaint that would be lodged with the state. The city does not have jurisdiction over whether or not they're prosecuted.
So could you make a recommendation to the state Attorney General?
to say that they
to say that they're not complying with state law. I mean, they are under somewhat of our jurisdiction because we appoint and we obviously approve their millages, so we are their, not going to say governing body, but we dictate who's on the board and their mills levy. So shouldn't that come from the city attorney to say, hey, we have a rogue entity? I understand it's not convenient because the mayor is the board of directors, but if we should not, no matter who is the mayor, we should not allow them to disallow state law.
Well, that's true. It doesn't matter who the mayor is. The question is are they not in compliance, which is something that we'd have to look at. I have not looked at their website in its totality. I'm only speaking to that I don't believe the city has received a copy of their budget.
Thank you. Is there anyone else in the second round of discussion?
Madam Chair.
Councilwoman Burns.
See, thank you. This is why we asked the questions, because the DDA the last time, it was $30,000, it was supposed to be the issue. Then we received a $20,000 cashier's check from the state bank, a copy, didn't get the back copy where it was signed off to show it was deposited. And Mr. Moore, this might have been for your time, but there's been some unscrupulous activity during this. So what did they buy with some of that? Mink eyelashes. Mink eyelashes were bought before. They stayed at 5-star hotels before. They bought nice sweatshirts for gifts to their friends. And then when they found out that council found out, they decided to pay for resume building services to get another job. Resume building services were charged to the city. And so when we ask these questions and voting yes just to say yes, and some people don't know, stop voting yes. How many people around here buying mink eyelashes? I don't. This is crazy to me. And so you do, Dennis, you look so cute by the eyes. But this to me is insanity. And voting yes with zero transparency on something we don't know what they're going to do, it has to stop. It has to stop. This is one page with zero accountability, zero transparency, and we know that they bought nicely. They were living their best life. But the biggest insult was when they literally bought the resume services, because they knew we found out. We knew that the person was spending the money, and then the one-sided copy of the check at State Bank in Fenton was used. And this is why the public doesn't trust us. I'm not supporting this. This is zero transparency. We've had problems. And I think since then, we have had Attorney Gurley was our deputy city attorney. Now she's our chief legal attorney. And it's still happening. Nothing has changed. You were the deputy then, I believe. And nothing has changed with the DDA. We don't know how much money they're making in the parking meters, but we know they're going to tow your car. How much money is from towed cars? We don't know. And it should be used on security, because we know 810 Day they had a problem down there where a 19-year-old, 18-year-old girl got killed. So I'm not supporting this. We know people live their best lives, off the city of Flint, and that's just a shame. And we don't know what they're doing with this. I yield the floor.
Is there anyone else in the second round of discussion?
Madam Chair.
Councilman in the 9th Ward.
Thank you. Through you, if we can have Mr. Menifee to come forward.
Mr. Menifee, if you would please, Councilman in the 9th Ward has asked you to join us.
And I'll start my question, Mr. Menifee, as you're coming forward. According to the website, you are one of those board members. And I guess my first question is, how long have you been with this board or serving in that post? How long have you been on this board, the DDA?
Probably about 2 years.
About 2 years. The change in the bylaws, going from the bylaws back to the 1977, did that vote take place while you have been sitting?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? Being a part of the board, can you share with us what the consensus of the board is as to why they would not want to provide financials to the council, especially when asking for financial consideration?
I do not know that they don't want to come before the council. It may just be that they weren't aware that they were going to be asked to be here. I'm not sure.
No, I'm not saying necessarily asked to be here tonight. I'm just saying as a practice of Flint DDA now, and it's been a few years, that financials have not been provided to the council. Is there?
That's not a question for me. I don't know.
Okay, I was just asking. I would think that, or I was thinking that being on the board, you may have some insight that you can provide as to why the board is choosing or has chosen not to. That said, thank you, sir. I yield.
Thank you. Is there anyone else in the second round of discussion? Seeing as how there's no one else in the second round of discussion, this is the roll call vote to approve Resolution 260183, 2026 Operating Millage, City of Flint Downtown Development Authority. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Ms. Burns?
No.
Ms. Mashat?
No.
Mr. Pfeiffer?
No.
Mr. Jarrett?
No.
Mr. Alamin? Is not in. Dr. Lewis?
No.
Ms. Johnson?
No.
Ms. Priestley?
Yes.
Ms. Winfrey Carter?
No.
The vote is 1 yes, 7 no.
The vote is 1 yes, 7 no. This failed to be approved by council. So it failed, just so we're clear. Moving on to 260184, which is the 2026 Operating Millage, City of Flint Taxable Valuation of Real and Personal Property. What is the pleasure of the body?
Madam Chair.
Councilwoman Priestley.
Motion to approve.
There is a motion to approve. Is there support?
Support.
Supported by the councilwoman in the 3rd Ward. Is there any discussion in the first round? Any discussion in the first round? Any discussion in the second round? Any discussion in the second round? Seeing as how there's no discussion in the second round, we'll move to the roll call vote for 260184, which is the 2026 Operating Millage, City of Flint Taxable Valuation of Real and Personal Property. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Ms. Mashat?
Yes.
Mr. Pfeiffer is not in. Mr. Jarrett?
Yes.
Mr. Alamin is not in. Dr. Lewis?
Yes.
Ms. Johnson?
Yes.
Ms. Priestley?
Yes.
Ms. Winfrey Carter?
No.
Ms. Burns?
No.
The vote is 5 yes, 2 no.
The vote is 5 yes, 2 no. This resolution passes. Moving on to 260185, which is the adoption of the fiscal year 2027 City of Flint budget. What is the pleasure of the body?
Madam Chair.
Councilwoman Priestley.
Motion to approve.
There's a motion to approve. Is there support? I will support it. Is there discussion in the first round?
Madam Chair.
Councilwoman Burns.
Thank you. Oh God, I can't think of his name. Who's over where we sell houses at? City Properties. Yep. Yep, don't look around, you're it.
Rod.
Rod, please, thank you. Quick question, since you have been here, working, and good evening, well, I saw you on the elevator. Has there been any city properties that have been transferred over to individuals? You're gonna have to sit down with the mic because we won't be able to hear you. That have been transferred or sold to any entity since you've been here?
No,
None, are you sure about that?
not that I'm aware of, no.
Not that you're aware of,
Correct.
that have been transferred or sold since you've been employed at the city of Flint?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay,
We were waiting for legal to get that put in order, so we are in the process of meeting currently to establish how that's going to be done moving forward.
and so how many are on that list to be transferred?
Don't know the number, but we do
I'm
have.
not talking about the land bank ones.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm talking about properties that have been sold to individuals, transferred in the deed, they bypass city council.
I'm not aware of that.
You're
that
not aware of
list.
that?
No, that list may be the one that fell under the past small business that is under Montel that
And how many properties was that?
I don't know the exact number, but there is an existing list.
All right, to you two, Montel, Mr. Menifee, to you, Madam Chair, to Mr. Menifee, do you happen to have the number of properties that were to be sold or transferred? He left, okay, well, so I guess we don't have an answer for that one then, okay, because okay. Mr. Moore, do you know about any of these properties that have been transferred or likely to be transferred, and what account would that go into?
It's going to the general fund,
It will go to the general fund.
and I know there's a list, I've seen the list, but I don't know the count.
Okay, and so, since you have been here, have there been any of these properties that the deed has been transferred over?
I believe so, yes.
You believe so, yes? Okay, thank you, because there has been.
They've been to the city council, but whether that.
No,
actually
these are
closed, I
some
don't
that
know.
we didn't approve. The last ones we approved were probably 3 years ago. I think that was before you. And so, I know we had the auto shop, so I think this was before, I think Jane was the last, Mager was the last one. So, you do know of some of the properties that have transferred.
We had a list of properties we met with property owners to try to, people that own the property lost it, and then we're gonna buy it back. And I don't know whether it went all the way through the process, but I thought at the time we had.
Yeah, we've deeded some of them back over. How do I get a list of those? Because anytime it's city property, it's gotta come back to city council.
Request for information. Request for information. Request for information.
Candace.
Yeah.
Clerk is talking to me, I'm sorry. What's your request?
To the speaker, are you aware that this council adopted rules that say that the foreclosure transfers do not have to come to council?
Oh, well, I know you and I didn't do that.
That is correct. I said this council.
I know we didn't, but, yeah, thank you. And so, but some of these properties are not, they're different. I would like to have a copy of that list, the list that I guess Mr. Menifee has, because we're transferring titles with properties and they're not coming to city council. So I would like to have a copy of list of properties, not the ones with the land bank, not that list, but of properties that have been transferred over.
Now, when you say not the list of the land bank,
These are not land bank ones.
these are ones that you're saying the city already owned?
These are properties that the city own. I'm not talking about the big land bank chunk.
You're talking about property that we sold.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Moore. You got this one. Thank you.
I was
You
gonna say,
are
we don't-
right on. Okay. My time coming down. Golf courses. Have we received any revenue for the golf courses? No one.
I don't think so. I haven't seen any.
Okay, what about the bar there? I mean, we know people like to have alcoholic beverages. Has the bar made any money? Because this has got to be the only bar in Michigan that has not made any money that's on a golf course. Because that's what I go golfing for. Has it made any money?
I have not seen any statements to that effect.
Have we had any financial statements from the golf courses?
Seemed like a couple of years ago, I believe we received some.
Mr. Moore,
I haven't seen anything recently.
Mr. Moore, she gonna get you again in the second round, or somebody might let her finish. Is there anyone else in the first round of discussion?
Madam Chair.
Councilman Pfeiffer.
Mr. Moore, are you familiar with the golf course contract?
I have seen it. It's been a long time
So
since I read it.
so you're aware that there's supposed to be a 50-50 split of
Yes.
profit and loss?
Yes.
So as a CFO of the city, wouldn't that be pertinent to you to get that so that we can balance the books and make sure that contracts are fully obligated and adhere to?
I want to say it was 2 years ago, I did get financial statements. I'm not the one that manages the contract, and you'd have to talk to the people.
Who manages the contract?
Last time I knew was Ashley Harris, but she doesn't work for the city. I'm not sure who's.
So who is responsible, Madam Chair, through you to the city attorney? Madam City Attorney, who is responsible to make sure that contracts that are adopted or that are signed for and executed by the city are fully adhered to?
Normally, it would be through the chair, it would be the department. So law will review it initially.
Initially, right?
Yep.
So if and I don't know, because I don't think that there is a current, according to this, it's still vacant, the business and development, I believe that they're in charge of that. So if there's no head in that department and we're not getting the profit and loss statements from the golf courses as per the contract, who would be responsible for that? Because it would be the financial interest of the city to make sure that we look at those and get monies due that are due to the city.
It would come up probably through the law department to inquire if it is.
Can I make that referral?
Yes.
Because I think this is 2+ years that.
3.
At least 2, maybe 3, that we have not seen a profit and loss statement. And according to the contract that the mayor signed or his representative signed, it's supposed to be a 50-50 split on profit. And if they're not giving us P&L statements, how can we verify that the contract is being upheld?
Yes. I will say that we did request the profit and loss statements, and we did receive those for this year. I made the request, and it has been reviewed.
Point of order.
Yes, what is your point?
Yeah, we can't hear. I can't hear over here.
Okay. Could you please speak into the mic?
Sorry about that. Is that better?
No. Just put it up to your mouth so we probably can hear you.
Okay, is that better?
A little better.
A little better? Okay, so we did request the profit and loss statement from the golf courses, and I have reviewed them. And there is supposed to be a profit de minimis, but nonetheless,
Request
it
for
will become.
information.
What is your request?
Can she give us the amount that the profit and loss was to be at? Because I was told it was told to have about at least a $20,000 profit.
I don't know who stated it was $20,000, but from the profit and loss statement that I reviewed, it was like $2,500. Which, in all honesty, this is the first year that there has been anything given back to the city.
So you're saying the city got $2,500 or we're splitting $2,500?
That would be the city share.
Thank you. I don't know how we go from a profit of annually of the previous contract was, I want to say 20-fold of that to now $2,500. Mind-boggling how the finances work when you have to split it. Are those audited by a third party, or those are just hearsay from the supplier, Madam Attorney?
There is no provision in that current contract that
So is
a
there,
third party would review.
Is there any verification that what we're getting is what they are submitting in taxes? Are they?
Say that one more time.
Is there any verification of what we're getting is what they're claiming on taxes?
No.
Is there anyone else in the first round of discussion?
Madam, go ahead.
Councilwoman in the 5th Ward.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, through you to Mr. Moore. Mr. Moore, do we have a budget for grants?
No, a separate budget, no.
Do you know how many grants have the city been awarded?
We can get to a list of that. Those change on a regular basis.
Yeah, you do that, sir.
The grants are normally budgeted on a project basis rather than on an annual basis.
Now,
When we
you know,
receive the
you
grant,
do
we
realize,
approve a budget.
you know that some years ago, when I was in my first term, we had an audit, and that was one of the things that we need to have a budget as far as grants. We don't know how much money has been allocated as far as grants. We don't know what's going out, what's coming in. We need a budget for grants. I have another question. I saw, whereas we have a grants management officer. So what grant, this is under the mayor's office. So is that position being paid for by grants?
A portion of his salary is paid through grants, yes.
Okay. Mr. Moore, what contingency plans exist if the projected revenues fall short? For example, we have income taxes coming in. What if that falls short? What plans do we have if that falls short?
The first line of defense for that is we budget our revenues very conservatively. They normally come in over budget. If for some reason if they were to all come in below.
Speak into the mic, Mr. Moore.
If they were all to come in below what we budget, we have sufficient fund balance that could cover that, and we would have to make an adjustment in our operations going forward, because that's something we would want to do. But right now, our revenues are tracking quite well.
You said our revenue is
It's good. It's good shape. Yes.
Is good because a lot of people don't pay their income tax. Probably year 2 later.
There's been a change in how we process or handle the income taxes that have not been paid. We're now working with the state of Michigan, and the state of Michigan is sending the letters out on our behalf, and that's helping us collect additional revenue that we haven't collected in the past. Starting in January, the state of Michigan will be actually collecting our income tax, and that should increase our yield. More people will be paying the proper amount when that happens.
Do we still have that collection agency working to get the balances due as far as the water bills?
Yes.
How much have we been collected
I
in
would
that?
defer to Amanda for that if she's here.
Amanda, if you heard my question.
Real quick, Councilman Winfrey Carter, for clarification for the first question that you asked, Mr. Moore. When you speak of grants, keep in mind that in our department we have entitlement grants, so we do have those budgeted, and that would be separate from grants that individual departments apply for themselves.
Okay,
Yeah.
so do we have that budget?
Yes, this is one that you guys just approved, but that one will be coming right back to you here in July for 26-27.
Okay, so your department, how many grants do your department have?
Currently we have the CDBG, ESG, Home, and Home ARP grants.
Well, yeah, I know that, but
Yes.
yeah, but as far as like grants from, Mott Foundation and all of that,
Only one we have outside that is a Mr. Grant for
Okay.
handicap assessment.
I yield, Madam Chair.
Is there anybody else in the first round of discussion?
Madam Chair.
Councilwoman in the second ward.
Thank you. So through you, I have a question about the neighborhood policing fund.
Yes.
So you can tell, okay, so I read that it's a special property tax approved by the voters to provide additional police for protection for neighborhoods. So when you say neighborhoods, could you please specify who and what that means?
That fund supports our NSO, the neighborhood safety officers. The NSOs are paid through that fund. It's not usually, we don't pay many of the police officers, but the neighborhood safety officers.
Oh, so this is for the neighborhood safety officer, for the NSOs?
Yes.
Okay, thank you for that. And so this goes back to response to a few questions that the council had. So looking at, it says the amount of fines collected by the city. Well, first, what is the amount of fines issued by NSO officers? It is $59,500. Then when we look at how much is collected, it's $3,340.
That's a major concern of mine, and we're looking into that issue. I think we can get it up higher.
The collection portion?
The collection, I think we can get that higher, yes.
Okay, and so we have currently, is it 8 NSO officers?
I believe so, but I don't know for sure.
Okay, so because Ward 2, we've been without NSO officer for quite some time, I was told, because I share with Ward 1, and our wards are very raggedy, so we need our own. And so for us to have to share an NSO in a very two troubled wards, it's a little concerning. So, so I'm looking, yeah, go ahead, I'll let you you want to say something.
We have budgeted for NSO for your ward, so it's just a question of find someone that is qualified.
Okay, so finding someone that's qualified to serve as an NSO. So I don't know if it's the appropriate time to ask this, but can anyone speak to, is it posted?
I believe it's posted. I would defer to the deputy chief if he's here.
Okay, well, through you,
we can
Madam
talk to you
Chair.
after the meeting about that if you want.
Say it again.
We can talk after the meeting. We can talk to the deputy chief, but I'm pretty sure it's posted.
You said after the meeting we can talk?
We could talk about that if I didn't want to take your time.
Okay. All right, yeah, because I see that, again, that we're putting a nice amount in this, and we budgeted for it. And so I'm assuming whenever we don't spend that money, it goes into the fund balance, correct?
That's correct, and we would like to have that position filled.
Okay. So I'm wondering, since we did not and what is the average salary of the NSO? Is like $17, $20 an hour? What is it?
I couldn't speak to that.
Okay. Yeah, because I was just wondering if we could, since we were without for so long, if the council members could use that money to do something for our wards.
That was a legal question. I'm not sure that you can. I'm not sure that you can because the money comes from a dedicated millage that's voted by the people. I'd have to check with the city attorney before I could answer that.
Point of information. Point of information. Thank you. Through you to the speaker, during the budget hearings, I believe that there are 11 NSOs being budgeted, and I asked the chief about posting so that we can have backups. And just like last year, we got, yeah, we can do that, but this hasn't happened. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All righty, so when you say, so how are you want to get that dollar amount up? Because in terms of the fines collected by the city, because right now, I mean, yeah.
We're looking at the process that we're using to collect the funds now, and we're looking to make it so that it's changed a bit so that Amanda can send letters out on a monthly basis, and we want to start using a collection agent to help with that process, and we're pretty sure we can get those dollars up. And I think it's important that we collect the fines in order for the fines to be effective.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Moore. I yield.
Thank you. Is there anyone else in the first round of discussion? Anyone in the second round of discussion?
Madam Chair.
Councilwoman in the 6th Ward.
Thank you. Mr. Moore, the check registry, so we can't get a physical copy of that yet. Because coming to your office to look at it is ridiculous. To look at, and I first asked you during budget hearings again last year. So we had over 365 days. The past month, the request was come to the budget office. I'm not doing that. Those are public documents, public funds, public money, and y'all are giving us the runaround. And they want, if this vote passed with 5 and we don't even know what's being spent out of this city, that's ridiculous to me. It's ridiculous. And I don't know it's not you, because I've asked you for a year and you said, well, I gotta wait for Mr. Edwards. Yep. And I know it's not you. And it's unfair because you sit before us having to answer for their questions. But I want to know these golf courses. I don't know if Stacy is here with the assessor, and I'm going to read this. Hello, Clyde. Despite multiple proposals, and this was from an email that was sent from a former employee that I obtained, and we've all talked about it. Hello, Clyde. Despite multiple proposals and recommendations to this administration advising against contracting with Mr. Prekertes, this administration has decided to continue with the agreement with Flint Golf for another year. I cannot manage the agreement while fulfilling my community service duties for several reasons. One, Flint Golf has failed to provide comprehensive financials for Dino's Bar and Grill various events, including unauthorized cannabis events, and the Golf Pro Shop, despite multiple requests. Two, our tax assessor has indicated that an entity like Flint Golf should pay property taxes when profiting from a publicly owned property, which is not occurring. Instead, the city is paying them. Three, the arrangement allows Flint Golf to generate personal profit from city-owned land and property at taxpayers' expense with no accountability. You can FOIA it. This is out of control. For 3 years we've been asking. We know that people have bid on these golf courses, and the person who has gotten the highest bid year after year has not been awarded the contract. It is the backdoor deal being done for $72,000, does not come to City Council, which falls underneath that threshold of $75,000 year after year. And how did I know that it was going to be over $20,000? $25,000. They said, you got to produce some. Why? City council now knows they're asking for profit and loss. This is just scandalous. Who doesn't go to a golf course and the bar doesn't make money when you're on a golf course? That's what you go for. Part of it is having cocktails on the greens. I yield.
Thank you. Is there anyone else in the second round of discussion?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Councilwoman in the 5th Ward.
Madam Chair, through you to Mr. Moore. Mr. Moore, how is the Clio Road Service Center being funded?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear which service center?
Yes.
The Clio Road Service Center?
Yes.
It's being, I'm not sure. Is that? Part of it's being paid for by the city treasurer. The other part, I think, is the police.
You said ARPA?
The police and the city treasurer.
Pardon me?
The city treasurer and the police department are sharing the cost of that.
How? What's the breakdown? How is the police department paying a portion of it, and how is the treasurer's department paying?
I pay for the employees that are there. I know the police takes care of the other part. I don't know that portion. I just pay the
You pay
employees.
for the employees?
Yes.
But how is the building, the lease, being funded and operated?
That I don't know.
Who pays the lease?
It's run through the police department.
What funds will
It's run
the
through
money
the
for the
police
lease go?
department, but which account number it comes out of, I'm not sure. I'd have to check.
You said what?
The police department pays for it, but which fund pays for it? Because the police department's paid out of several different funds. I'd have to check with that to get.
Well, technically, it shouldn't be still open. Because I know that council voted, some council members voted to have a 6 month, a 6 month, a 6 month, I guess a 6 month lease or something like that, a 6 month trial period, and after that, it was supposed to close down because we didn't vote again to approve that service center to be open. So now I'm trying to figure out how is it continuing to be open? What funds? Is it ARPA funds? How?
It's not ARPA, I know that. I'd have to go back, I'd have to look at it. I can't tell you off the top of my head.
And did that come to council? Did council approve?
I don't know off the top of my head. I'd have to go.
I see movement.
Pardon?
I said, I see movement coming. I only have 7 seconds left. 6, 5, 4, 3.
So the lease payments are coming out of the 101.
The general fund's paying.
Is there anyone else in the second round of discussion?
Madam Chair.
Councilman in the 8th Ward.
Mr. Moore, do you have an ink pen? Do you have
Pardon?
something? Do you have something to write with?
Yes.
MCL 141.434. Section 14, paragraph 5, or section 5. I expect the check registers to be delivered to council members by the end of the week. So you can look at the attorneys, you can look it up. It's state budgeting law that we get the documents that we ask for budgeting purposes. And that includes check registers or anything else. So I expect those as soon as possible. The whole delay crap is getting old. The whole, you can come look at them when it's convenient is not acceptable. We have a fiduciary duty to look at the checks and balances and the check registers or anything else that we want to as a legislative body. It is, if the FOIA, if a
member of the public can FOIA it, we have the ability to get those documents. State law. Look it up. I expect them by the end of the week. Thank you, sir.
Is there anyone else in the second round of discussion? Seeing as how there's no one else in the second round of discussion, this is the roll call vote for Resolution 260185, the adoption of fiscal year 2027 City of Flint budget. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Mr. Pfeiffer?
No.
Mr. Jarrett?
No.
Mr. Alamin? Dr. Lewis?
Yes.
Ms. Johnson? Ms. Priestley?
Yes.
Ms. Winfrey Carter?
No.
Ms. Burns?
No.
Ms. Mashat?
Yes.
The vote is 5 yes, 4 no.
The vote is 5 yes, 4 no. The adoption of fiscal year 2027 City of Flint budget has been approved.
Motion to adjourn.
There's a motion to adjourn. Is there support? Supported by the councilman in the 9th Ward. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Mr. Jarrett?
Yes.
Mr. Alamin? Dr. Lewis?
Yes.
Ms. Johnson?
Yes.
Ms. Priestley?
Yes.
Ms. Winfrey Carter?
Yes.
Ms. Burns?
I would not have did that on an election. Yes.
Ms. Mashat?
Yes.
Mr. Pfeiffer?
Yes.
The vote is 9 yes, 0 no.
The vote is 9 yes, 0 no. This special city council meeting is adjourned at 8:06 p.m. It's 8 o'clock.